Shining Star, Issue 1, October 16th, 1990. A light on our village. It's with great excitement and a fair bit of nervousness that I write the very first words of the Shining Star. As editor of the village's first ever newspaper, my hope is simple: to bring the people of Shining a little closer together, one story at a time. It's a small dream, perhaps, but one I believe in wholeheartedly. For those who don't yet know me, my name is Geoff Berry. I'm something of a newcomer here, and not just to Shining, but to this side of the Atlantic entirely. I grew up and worked in the United States, spending most of my professional life in the busy world of city journalism. After years of deadlines, traffic, and the endless hum of neon and noise, I found myself craving something quieter, something with a bit more heart. When I inherited a tiny stone cottage on the edge of Shining from my late aunt, Maureen Berry, it felt like fate giving me that chance. Some of you may remember her. She lived here for many years and, from what I've gathered, was quite the character. I never spent as much time with her as I should have, but stepping into her home these past few months, I found traces of her everywhere. Her notes tucked into recipe books, her pressed flowers between pages, even a few unfinished crossword puzzles by the window. It's been both comforting and strange, in equal measure. Since arriving, I've quickly discovered that life here moves at its own rhythm, slower, friendlier, and far more personal than anything I knew before. News travels without the need for headlines. And yet, that's precisely why I think a small village paper might still have its place. Not to compete with conversation, but to preserve it. To collect the stories that might otherwise slip quietly away. Interestingly, I've learned that this isn't the first time someone's tried to start a village newspaper. Over the years, there have been a few brave attempts, handwritten newsletters, mimeograph circulars, even one ambitious plan for the Shining Times back in the 1970s. But for one reason or another, funding, timing, or perhaps simple lack of interest, none ever made it to print. It seems the Shining Star will be the first to actually reach your hands. I consider that both a privilege and a responsibility. Of course, not everyone's convinced a newspaper is needed, and that's perfectly fair. But I promise this won't be gossip or bother, only a friendly, thoughtful space to celebrate Shining, its people, its history, and its curious, winding future. So here's to a new chapter for our village, one written not just by me, but by all of us together. May the Shining Star bring a little warmth, a little truth, and a little light to our days here in Shining. In other news, our village football team, the Shinners, have done it again. That's 7 away wins in a row, and they remain unbeaten. I've already been politely warned not to call it soccer. I'm hoping to catch up with the team later this season, assuming they ever play a home match. Editor's notes. Unpublished. Getting the Shining Star to print has been a greater challenge than I first imagined, but also one of the most rewarding. In the few months I've lived here, I'll admit I found it difficult to truly settle in. Perhaps it's because I'm a foreigner in a place that's grown wary of outsiders, or maybe it just takes time to find one's place in a village like Shining. People know each other here in ways city folk rarely do. Generations deep, stories shared in glances more than words. Still, my hope is that this little paper might help bridge that gap. That it might give me, and others like me, a way to become part of the rhythm of village life. After a difficult chapter back in the States, inheriting my Aunt Maureen's cottage felt like a sign. An invitation to start afresh. I don't yet know if Shining is where I'll finally find that peace, But as I sit at this small desk, hearing the church bells carry through the fields, I have a feeling I've come to the right place. Or at least, a place with stories worth telling.